Greetings, fellow slingers. Welcome back to Roll the Hard 20 podcast. Boy, I tell you, it's been a real whirlwind lately. Been in Rome for a week. And if the jet lag don't get you, that damn coronavirus will. But never let that say that stops your favorite podcast from putting something out. Yeah, we may have been a few days late, but let me tell you, the show must go on. As always, I encourage every one of you hard slingers out there to write into the show at rollthehard20podcast@gmail.com and let us know what you think of the show. Also, be sure to leave us that 5-star rating on whatever podcast platform you listen to us on, and tell a friend, please. Like I said, it really means that much to us to hear what you guys think about us. And now, top off your glass and warm up your dice as Roll the Hard 20 podcast presents our Carrion Crown run-through, episode 24, Assassins Bleed.
Awesome.
So it was like first class, so it's the same thing where it's like 2 seats and you get the big seats. I can't remember if it was flying there or flying back. There was some girl that had to be around my age, maybe like at the time mid to early 20s, that was sobbing the whole fucking time, crying about something while also watching like The Bachelor, and I'm just sitting there playing roller coaster.
I mean, that's probably what she was crying about.
Dude,
I was just playing Roller Coaster Tycoon.
You should have played that to your advantage. You could have got Handy on board.
That's right. First class service.
That's
right. I think it was
Real
before I got
hands-on.
engaged to Jeff. But just like, it wasn't even like, it was like ugly crying. I'm just like, dude, calm the fuck down. Yeah.
She probably just gave a Handy. That's why.
How do you think I got to first class?
Or maybe it's because she was flying to Ohio.
Because you have
That's
no
fine,
class.
too.
Greetings, fellow slingers, and welcome back to Roll the Hard 20 podcast, episode 24 of the Carrion Crown run-through. I am your trusted GM, Brian, and with me are the hard slingers.
Yeah.
Remember to reach out to us on rollthehard20podcast@gmail.com and visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/rollthehard20podcast.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Hey, remember to leave us that 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you listen to the show on. And now, so after dispensing with the Splatterman and then returning the Warden's symbol of office to Visariana in the workshop, you heroes decided to return to town and sleep it off. However, unbeknownst to you, the council members had set up a meeting in the town hall. You were asked to attend. It was there that you were applauded by all in attendance for your courageous efforts in abolishing Harrowstone Prison's haunts. All of its haunts. Only you didn't, did you? And therein lies the rub. You were called to task about the task not being completed by Councilman Hearthmount and then by Councilwoman Myrta Straylock. Only she took a more aggressive position towards you and then became severely ill. When the doctor suggested to escort her home, you were followed by 3 dark figures who set her house on fire. And it was during the melee that Myrta fell victim to one of the assassins. But you were able to interrogate the one remaining assassin who confessed just before the entire town arrived that they had been ordered by Elandru Groven and tasked with killing Myrta because she had become an abomination. And now, here all of you stand, bathed in the heat and the light of the burning house of Myrta Straylock, when Vashian Hearthmount and James Kaler, leading a procession of all of the town's members towards you. You see confused looks upon their faces, and as Vashian asks, "What the hell happened here?" you hear Kaler say, "Is that Councilwoman Straylock on the floor?" And at one point, Talos, you had mentioned something as you saw Elandru in the group of people as well. You said if you want to prove yourself to be useful, now is the time.
Yeah, I told it to the one person we left alive.
You see him start to part ways from the rest of the group as he starts to move forward, and he says, "What has happened here? Tell us, is that you in oust? What happened here? This looks very tragic." You could see by the glowing embers of this house, he almost has this unreal, shocked look on his face.
Yeah, I'm going to just repeat it to the, what do we want to call him? Ruffian?
The ruffian, the
hooligan,
assassin guy.
The assassin. This is the time to prove your worth.
Gosh, well, I might be able to cure him. Let me in there. Let me see if I can fix this poor soul.
Wait, who's saying this?
Alandra is.
He looks
like he's in dire need. He might have information that's important to us.
Yeah, and we have a doctor, so everything's fine.
If you feel like healing someone, some of us are hurting pretty bad.
Yeah, suck on this patty, will you?
That's why we have our own doctor.
It's a good berry. I made it this morning. Frankenberry flavor.
Frankenberry.
Doctor, what are you doing at this time?
So, the doctor's observing the mob coming towards us. Rest of the party is pretty worse for wear, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in front of the party, I don't know if I want to break out the wand and start doing magic. You know?
Right before the mob goes, buff up, buff up.
Well, I think the mob's on us. The last thing we need to do is some sorcerer stuff. So, what the hell do I want to do? Any suggestions? I don't know what to do.
You put out a nice cheese platter for this angry mob that's
No
going to come
suggestions.
in.
Yeah, the mob is completely just in shock at what has happened. They see the dead bodies, but what really strikes them is the residence of Myrta Straylock is just completely engulfed in flames. And at this point, it's actually starting to die down a little, but her corpse is right on the porch, soaked in her own blood. In fact, you see one of the councilmen. You remember the younger one, the Carrion Murikar. He's a very dapper-looking young man. He parts ways from the rest of the group, rest of the town's members, and runs up to her. Myrta, what has happened to you? Please, talk to me. Tell me anything. What has happened to this beautiful woman? She was such an inspiration to the rest of the town.
At that point, well, that's going on. Sheriff Kaler near us now. Is he leading the procession?
He is in front of the rest of the town, standing next to Vashian Hearthmount. What can I do for you, Doctor?
Sheriff, we need to keep the people at bay, please. There's been a terrible crime here.
It certainly looks very terrible indeed. Town, please back up. Give these adventurers some room to work their miracles on the already deceased, of course. For what it's worth.
And I envision most in the scene looking like, if anyone's seen The Naked Gun, when the fireworks factory is going off,
There's nothing to see.
There's nothing to see here while the house is burning down behind us.
At this point, whatever faith he seemed to have in you, it's almost completely diminished at this point.
I can't blame him, but...
I mean, he's watched one of, well, he didn't actually see it, but he sees one of the council members dead. I mean, people that he's known for many, many years.
Well, we have the...
Can't save them all.
Yeah.
So we
there's
have,
Wait till we lose them.
Vacancy open.
we have the assassin, right?
We do.
You do?
And he won't say anything.
I know he won't say anything, so after Sheriff Kaler kind of, keeps the crowd back, Sheriff, we apprehended one of the assassins.
Where is he at? Is that one that's sprawled out with that sword still stuck in his shoulder?
Yeah, I jiggle the sword a little bit. Please.
He's still alive.
You see tears of pain and sweat beading on his forehead, just running down his face. Completely lost all color in his face.
Sheriff, I think it's best we stabilize this man and get him back to a safe place for interrogation.
I'll get two of my deputies to escort him back.
I would have to go as well. We don't want him expiring.
Very well. He looks towards two of his... What the fuck are their names?
Deputies.
Jim and Joe.
Yeah.
No, I got their fucking names here, right here. He looks towards
Gomer and Pyle.
Leo and Tresselblade and tells them...
What's his name again? Give me the name again.
Tresselblade.
Trestle blade?
Trestle blade. Triple fry.
Leo and Tresselblade
All right.
and tells them, you two, secure the prisoner and take the doctor with you back to the jail.
If you don't mind, I'd like to follow along. He's got some of my property on his person.
Very well.
Yes, just don't jiggle the sword too much. Leave it in.
I would have to remain behind here and get a first-hand account of what has happened here. He starts moving towards you, Oust. Erwin, what are you doing at this time?
I'm kind of just observing things right now. I'm kind of keeping an eye on Alendru.
From a winded position?
Yeah.
Well, you're hurting right now.
Time to
Smell
reapply.
another good berry.
Yeah, right now I'm kind of just observing, and I'm kind of trying to keep an eye on Alendru, seeing what he's doing, see what his reaction to everything is.
Okay, go and make a perception check.
Oops. It's 15 on the die.
15.
18.
You see that he seems composed, but his eyes are darting around, looking around. He's watching as the doctor and Talos follow the two deputies that are basically manhandling this thug off the ground. You see that they're basically put their arms under his arms, and that just increases the pain exponentially. And you could almost see Alendru want to move forward, but he's doing everything he can to steel himself.
Okay.
Kaler walks up to you, Oust, and he says, Oust, I know you're not like your grandfather, Talos. Why don't you tell me what happened, young man? Young elf.
Young elf.
Young tree hugger.
Shortly after the meeting, as we were escorting Yominda. Nah, yeah. Murda. Yominda.
What's her name again? Murda?
Murda.
Yeah.
Berta.
Shortly leaving the meeting, escorting Murda, we noticed we were being followed.
Now, why were you escorting Murta to begin with?
She wasn't feeling well. We were trying to take her away from the meeting and take her back to her residence and draw her a bath so the doctor could take a look at her.
That sounds
Creepy.
extremely creepy, Alice. But continue. You have my full attention.
Well, now that I have your full attention, we noticed that we had people following us. We quickly gathered around inside the house and tried to seal it up, but they started lighting the place on fire, forcing us to exit.
Continue.
That's where we managed to capture one of these assassins.
Assassin. That's a strong word.
Well, I don't know what other way to put it. They were after to kill us. I mean, they got Marta.
Murda.
Rest in peace, Murda.
I think Marta might have escaped, but Marta doesn't look like she fared as well. Well, that does qualify as an assassin. Are you okay?
I'll be all right. But I know Edwin.
Erwin?
You have another person? You added another monk to the party, I see.
No, that's if he dies. Then it becomes Edwin.
We received letters from Edwin. Erwin was telling me about him.
Standing in the wings, of course.
Dude, Nick has like an embarrassment of riches for names to pick for the next character.
So many options.
Yeah.
We have to keep it going, though.
Well, why don't you head back into town and would like to have a talk with you and Talos and the doctor, and I'll go address Erwin.
Was that him or you?
That was me. So he makes his way towards you to get a second accounting of what's been going on. Talos and the doctor, you guys are escorting the escorts with the assassin back into Raven Grow at this point.
I don't know about escorting. At this point, I'm trying to try and keep the sword steady, because it's a long sword, right?
It's a short sword.
It's only
the
a short
cane,
sword.
right?
Yeah, it's the cane.
Either way, just trying to don't jostle him about.
Yeah, you guys still keep it steady.
What do you want from us? We're just trying to do everything we can. The sheriff said take this motherfucker back. We're taking it back.
But he said take him back alive.
Look, you're the doctor. You figure out how to keep him alive. We just need to figure out how to get him back to the jail.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't have anything. If he dies, he dies. Maybe he needs some leeches.
We
He's
might
already
wanna,
looking pale.
Let's hold off for the treatment until tomorrow morning.
So Talos, you see that everybody's trying to keep this guy vertical and alive, but they're trying to make haste back to the jail itself.
Yeah, I'm spending a majority of my time ensuring that we're not followed by Alendru.
You hear the assailant breathing heavy. Elf, you're gonna keep me alive.
Yeah, we'll keep you alive. As long as you're useful, we will keep you alive.
You gave me your word. You gave me alive.
Yes. And, we had hoped for your help, and you didn't really follow through.
You see his head loll back as he passes out from the pain.
Yeah. All right. Keep him upright, I guess.
Is he still living though?
He is still alive. He just
Passed out.
passed out.
Does spare the dying count? If I just want to just keep him from not dying, just
Well, he doesn't have to make death saves right now because
No, not yet,
The
but I'm
damage you did was non-lethal damage. But
yeah. Okay, so he just passed out.
yeah, he
Yeah.
just passed out at that
Yeah.
point.
He's stable.
He's staples, but yeah, I'm still trying to make sure that.
Keep his head propped up.
Well, not that, just a thing that speared him through the chest.
It's just natural because he's raising the baby right now. Make sure you support the neck. Support the head. Hold the head.
No, I don't care about that. It's a big ass piece of thing that's gone through his whole body. Keep that from wiggling around. Try and stabilize it.
So the sheriff walks up to you, Erwin, and he says, "Young man, I just had a conversation with Oust, and I would like to get your recollection of what happened this evening. If you could please start from when you left the town hall. Why did you leave the town hall?"
Well, we all initially left because Myrta was kind of acting a little strange. She seemed like she was unwell, so we all decided to take her back to her residence so she can, sleep it off, and the doctor could attend to her needs.
If I may, how do you mean she seemed unwell?
She seemed like she was whispering under her breath and kind of pacing back and forth backstage, and we thought it was strange. She didn't seem very well as well. It seemed like she lost the color in her face.
Did you happen to hear what she was whispering?
I did not know. It was more of a mumbling under her breath.
So then you brought her back home.
Yeah, we brought her back, and then on the way we noticed that there were some people following us. We didn't really think much of it at the time, but once we got inside, they started to attack. They set the house on fire. One of the assassins killed Myrta inside the house.
Damn.
Yeah, and then we fought back, and then everyone else arrived.
Well, both the stories seem to concur with one another. I would have to ask you to return to town as well, and hopefully we could reach some kind of a conclusion and close whatever happened here. It doesn't look like any of you were at fault here. I would like to know where these assailants had come from. That would be very helpful. Did they have a beef with you? You know what beef is, right?
I believe so.
You look more of a tofu type eater, but
That's insulting. Thank you.
well, I don't think you'll be around much longer, anyways. But hopefully, you'll fare longer than your previous brethren. Anyhow, if you
We're so openly hostile to the monastery.
they just keep feeding Raven grow new monks. Well, you didn't happen to have any type of an altercation with these men, did you?
I don't think any of us have seen them before.
All right. Well, like I said, please, at some point, return to town and we'll further the conversation. As he leaves you, he goes to one of the other dead assassins and leans over, and he starts to inspect the body and go through his pockets and whatnot. And you see Alendru leave the rest of the group and head over towards where Kaler is. You hear him kind of murmuring something to the sheriff, but you can't really tell what he's saying. As you look upon that, what's going on, Vashian comes up to you and says, "My dear boy, we had a conversation earlier this evening, and we had mentioned how all the haunts had not been dispensed with at the Harrowstone prison. Will you and your group be returning there to take care of this?"
Yes, we plan on returning in the morning. We need some rest. It's been a very long day for all of us.
Talk to, what the fuck is this name? All these fucking names. Talk to, Sariana and tell her to put the sweets on my name, and we'll make sure you are all well rested and given a continental type breakfast.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yes.
Continental breakfasts are weak as fuck.
Shut up, Doctor. You're not here at this moment. But, yes, as soon as you could return to the prison would be most advantageous for Ravengrow and for everybody else involved.
Yes, we will.
He returns back to the rest of the group and motions for them. Okay, the constable, he's doing his best to take care of everything here. Please, everybody, return home. There's nothing to further investigate. And you see the crowd kind of, and they all turn around and start heading back into Ravengrow and dispersing from there. Back at the Ravengrow jail, the two deputies put the lone assassin, ironically, in the same cell that Gibbs was once in.
Did they clean the blood at least?
Most of it.
Most of it, okay.
The floor has been stained crimson. Probably never going to change.
Okay.
I suppose you want to watch us lock this thing, huh? And they lock it in place, and one of them puts the key in his pocket and taps his chest. Good night. And they just walk out.
Before you leave, I would like to try and stabilize the man.
Here. He throws the key towards you. Do what you want with him.
All right, fair enough. Good night, officer.
I mean, hasn't Kayla deputized you?
No, but I am a respected member of the community.
That's what we do, you know? I own the Builder's Emporium down the street. I could go in the jail anytime I want. So they just walk out. They just let you do your thing. One of them sits at the desk out front, puts his feet up, puts his hat over his eyes. The other one just leaves the jail completely.
What are you doing?
Well, I think it's best we take this object out of him and try and stabilize him.
Agreed. I haven't done this before, so I will follow your instructions to the letter.
Okay, as soon as you pull that out, he's going to start bleeding out.
I know. So
Okay.
that is why, Talos, let's look around. Do we have, there any sheets laying around? I have some equipment on me, but pretty much we're going to have to try and stop the bleeding as soon as we pull that sword out.
Would you say Unseen Servant can apply enough pressure to a wound?
That is the other thing we're going to need.
I would have to say
there's
that
to be multiple rules here.
That the unseen servant is not trained in triage.
I mean, it just has
No
to...
one is.
I don't need him to do triage. I just need him to apply some pressure to the wound.
Even the doctor has a phony baloney degree at this point.
I'm looking for him to help. Do
you have medicine or survival or anything?
No.
Oh, fuck. Do you have any strength?
No.
Oh, you have -1. Fuck me.
I'm trying to see how much.
Well, at least with Dex, you
hit
can at
points
least put it
this
in the
guy
right
had
spot.
left.
Yeah, I've got Dex. I've got Auto. I don't think Auto's any good here.
No.
You can stuff him as a.
I've got Ray of Frost. We can maybe try to close up that wound.
Cauterize it.
Do you have... That's what I was going to say, cauterizing.
Okay.
We might have to cauterize the wounds.
We might need oust.
Just so you know, he's at the threshold right now. Okay.
Right.
So, because you announced that you were going to do non-lethal damage, that's the only thing that kept him alive at this point.
Yep.
So if we mess up, does he
Did
die
you give him some hit
automatically?
points after though?
We'll roll for the damage. We'll roll the bleed damage.
You gave him some hit points at the end, didn't you, or no?
No.
No, not
Okay.
yet, but I can.
Okay.
Which I'm planning on doing because I still got charges.
All right. I mean, I expect you to make the medicine check, to be honest.
Well,
I'm just here to help you.
I'm just saying, what equipment do you have?
Let's see here. I've got stuff.
Do you have
scholar-
saltpeter by any chance?
Oh, what?
Wait, want your dick to shrink or what?
No, gunpowder. Cauterize the wound.
I got a tinder box, some candles, some incense.
I'm not looking at sex.
Really setting the mood, aren't you? For that saltpeter.
Hey, is there a
A few
fire?
bath bombs.
I mean, I got stuff I can alight with stuff that makes fires. If
Now,
you want to make a
do you
fire.
use that stuff with the unseen servant? Like break out the candles?
No, Unseen Servant only watches.
Oh, that's creepy.
He's a looker.
Is there inside the prison? Is there a hearth, a fire going
Now this is the jail.
in the jail? Either way, is there one or no?
There is, but it's out in the main area.
Is it currently lit?
I can start it with prestidigitation. So
Well, we have tinderbox and stuff. So.
yeah, so we can start one.
Let me try to draw this really quick. Okay.
Because between my Boy Scout knowledge and nothing else, I am an Eagle Scout. We're gonna try and cauterize this wound.
Okay, so the entrance door to the jail was right here. Here's the desk to the north. There's a hearth towards the south. In the west wall was the door that led into the hallway that branched off to the 6 cells. 3 in the south, 3 in the north, and he is in the northwest cell. So the hearth is against the southern wall of the main entrance.
Okay. And is it going right now?
It is.
Pretty good, or is it? I gotta stoke it.
Not quite as well as Myrta's house, but it's still going.
Okay. As the doctor walks over to the hearth, is there any poker sitting in it or near it?
There's a set of tongs and a poker and a few stray logs off to the side.
Okay. Talos,
Yes?
I think the best way to do this is first, I got to give him some hit points to make sure.
All right, yep.
And then second, we're going to pull, because what is it, a cane?
Yeah. It's a sword that's hidden within a cane. Yeah.
So we're pulling out, at least it's a slim blade.
Yes.
Right?
It's like a stiletto
Yeah.
type blade, but longer.
Just hopefully we haven't hit any organs.
Well, it's in the shoulder. It's maybe some
That's actually-
important
so
veins
that's-
and arteries, but
It's
that's
pretty
it.
survivable. So,
We've got some things in our favor.
all right, Talos, you're going to help me cauterize these wounds.
All right, perfect.
So what I need you to do is go over to the fire, throw any logs that are available onto the fire, and get it roaring super hot.
Okay. I've put as many logs as possible there.
Okay. So you start putting the logs on the fire. Oust, you and Erwin are about to... Well, Erwin's about to leave Myrta's ashes. Is that what you...
Ashes already?
Well,
the
her-
cremation's
Well,
done?
no, her
say,
house is...
cremation's
I was going to say
longer.
her residence, but it's nothing more than a funeral pyre at this point. What are you going to do, Erwin?
Is Sheriff Careless still there?
He's looking at the bodies on the ground right now. He's moved from the first one onto the second one at this point. And the whole time Alendru's following him, giving his expertise, his advice, his opinions. You hear him murmuring stuff and well, of course, I don't know how I missed that.
Can I walk up to them?
Sure.
Yeah.
I was supposed to join as well.
So I'm just going to walk up to them.
You're going to join him as well,
Yeah.
Alst? Okay.
And then I say to Sheriff Kaler, Sheriff Kaler, is there anything I can do to help here? Do you need any assistance to
Oh, yes.
for how they died?
I thought Hearthmount had suggested you head back into town and get some sleep, get caught up. You guys look like kind of smashed assholes at this point.
What?
That's very vivid.
We were curious to see if you found anything on the bodies.
Well, I could just see a lot of lethality wounds to these. Unfortunately, this one I'm looking at right now has no head.
Yeah.
It happens.
It looks as though it's been exploded by something rather violently.
Well, they started it. But anything on their
Write that down.
anything interesting or of interest that you found on them? Were they carrying any parchment?
Actually, that is the strange thing, is there's nothing on these men other than their weapons that they had. They have no hair. They're all shaved head, shaved eyebrows. There's no facial hair. Look, there's no mons pubis. And he pulls down their pants. There's nothing. All these men are hairless.
So they all have alopecia?
Yes. And they're molting.
They were all wearing black robes.
No, they're wearing black leather.
Black leather.
But they had black hoods.
Black. Oh,
Oh, the Knights of Ren.
But these guys were better.
That is true. At least they have a backstory.
I was going to say, these guys almost killed you. The Knights of Ren just stood there and just took it.
all right. Well, let us know if there's any way we could help.
Well, thank you, Oust. And Erwin.
Yes. Alundru, can we guide you back into town? I think Sheriff Kaler's got it from here.
Well, I think the sheriff might still... No, it's okay, Alundru. I've got it at this point. You sure? Well, I suppose, wouldn't mind escorting me back to the unfurling scroll would be very appreciative, young man.
Sure.
So he allows you to lead the way. Oust?
I'll stay behind, following behind them.
Okay. So you're leading the way, and he's half a pace behind you, and he says, you guys start leaving the illumination of the fire behind you. There's no more townspeople. Vashian's already left. Kaler has remained behind. He's still looking at the bodies, and it's just you three on the road going north into town. But there's that one stretch between her house and town. And eventually you pass by Kendra's house, and they keep going north. And then it gets really quiet and dark at this point. And then he actually starts to speak, and he says, so I'm wondering, what is the purpose of this escort?
Just being a nice person. Mm-hmm. Why? Do you think we have ulterior motives or something?
Oh, of course you do. You know you do. You know I'm a very capable man. I've lived in this town many years. I don't require an escort.
Well, sir, with all due respect, with all the weird things that have been happening, we wouldn't want anything to happen. I believe it's safer with numbers.
Yes, of course. You know, young man, you look extremely wounded at this point. Have you taken...
I've taken a few lookings.
Would you like some healing? It's one of my many gifts.
I'm all right, sir. Let's just get you back to the...
You sure? His hand begins to glow, kind of extends it towards you. At this point, he stops moving. You look like you could barely stand.
What now? No, I was kidding.
Give me the signal.
Give me the signal.
Just nodding.
I'll be fine. We'll get some rest later this evening.
What about you, young monk? You look like you're on death's threshold. So, can I help you?
I think I'll manage. I'm with House here. We're going to get some rest really soon. You can save your powers. Save your energy.
I've got energy to spare. I just was hoping I could be of assistance.
Well, I mean, we both said no, so, I mean...
Well, no does mean no, and I have to heal you consensually.
But if you do want to be of assistance, do you know of any cultist groups in the area, formerly known as only wearing dark robes?
Not to my knowledge.
Just your average looking cultist.
Just, you know.
Can you be more... Are you looking to join them?
Can you
Find
initiate a
local
meeting?
cults nearby.
Look, young man.
Well, he's part of the
I
rolling
teach
scroll.
a school for young, aspiring practitioners of this art. I don't go around looking for cults that hide in the corners of the shadows, looking to hurt people or do whatever they do. If you've got something to say to me, say it now.
Why are you so defensive?
I'm not talking to you.
That's very defensive.
That is a little defensive.
I just can't help but feel as though suspicion has come upon me for some reason. Now, I admit I'm at odds with your great-grandfather, Talos, but that's between he and I.
Okay, well, why are you getting so hostile?
I'm not. I offered you healing.
And then you got upset.
Why wouldn't you want my healing?
Because we're about to go to sleep.
Okay, look at me. And he heals himself.
Vigorous old man.
Well, I think I've had enough of your escort, and thank you. I'll be taking my leave.
Okay.
And you see him continue heading up the road into the darkness and makes his way. Back at the jail, Talos, you've now got this fire roaring. Got a poker in there. Everything's ready to go.
All right, fire's ready.
All right.
Doc, what are you going to do to this poor bastard?
So currently he's in the jail cell on a cot, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to gather up as many sheets, towels, whatever linens we got.
Well, there's only just a mattress. There's nothing that anybody could hang themselves with in this cell.
Fuck, it's not Epstein's cell.
Not anymore.
Anymore.
Well, you can't check it for weapons or anything like that.
It won't be
He's got
Gibbs.
one.
He's only got 2 feet of fucking steel hanging out of him.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the worst thing that you have? It's just a red bed at the end of the day.
Was the wound a through and through?
No.
Yeah.
No,
Is it
you
not?
you sunk it right into his shoulder.
Gotcha.
That makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
All right, so here's what's going to happen. As I'm looking over the body, I'm going to give him 3. Oh, that was close. 5, 7 points of HP with my
All right.
wand. Kind of wake him up.
You see his eyes flutter, and they actually descend from looking up in his forehead. He's trying to focus in as they look forward once again, and he's just having a difficult time because of the pain. He sees you, Doctor,
This is the
with
first thing he
this
sees.
fucking scary
A literal
shit
plague doctor
mask.
mask. Be calm. All should be right soon.
And then I show up with a burning hot poker.
You see him grab below his belt as though he's trying to prevent himself from urinating at this point.
Fair enough.
Very
So
understandable.
I will flip him onto his stomach with the,
Oh, shit.
No, Jesus Christ.
This is
grab
how
the
it happens.
Vaseline. But
You're in a jail. Might as well get it.
But I'm going to place him on his stomach. So the cane sword is now sticking straight up.
No, I think
It's in the front of
it's
him.
in the front.
Oh, it's in the front.
Yeah.
My bad.
You just pushed it through.
So
it.
I still have him. No, so I still have him on his back. Are there any manacles or anything?
There
Handcuffs.
should be around here.
Not on him, no.
Not. Is there anything close that I can grab to cuff him?
Restrained.
Probably more out in the front area behind the desk.
All right. So I will call it. Talos, are there any handcuffs, manacles?
I look at whoever is manning the place right now.
You
Manacles?
see Leo look up, lifts up his hat, grabs some ringed bracelets that are chained together and hurls them towards you.
All right. I catch it and I bring it along with the burning hot poker.
No, lead the poker. Lead the poker. We need it as hot as
All
possible.
right, I put it back. I was getting real excited.
Not yet. Don't shoot your wad yet. We still got some time. We got to strap him down first.
All right.
And then get him with the poker.
You can't keep edging me like this, Doc. All right, I come back with the manacles.
Okay, so we just lock him to the bed, so that he can't escape. Okay, Talos, I'm going to pull this cane sword out of him. And you're going to have the poker and put it right over that wound.
No problem.
Okay. I'm going to get ready here as the doctor pretty much climbs up on the bunk, grabs the cane sword. All right, go grab the poker.
All right, I run. I grab the poker and I run back. And
Okay.
I'm ready. I have it like
'Cause
not
this
too
is-
far away from the sword itself.
This is going to be quick.
Okay. As you pull that sword out, how much damage does that sword do?
Like D6 dex.
Okay. Just roll. No dex added to it. Just roll the d6.
6.
Okay. You yank this sword out, and then you plunge this poker in.
I'm not plunging it in.
Just weld the skin back together.
Okay.
Plunging it in is just replacing the sword.
Okay.
Cauterize that wound.
Trying to cauterize the
baby.
So
wound.
you cauterize the wound, and you see his lights just flicker out again. Just in.
Is he
He's
breathing?
still stable?
He seems to be stable still.
Success.
We did it.
Good job, Talos.
All right, I throw the poker. It's celebration.
The jail catches on fire.
No, I put it back.
The assassin's pretty
Austin,
good.
Irwin, you guys are making your way back up into Raven Grove, or where you want to go?
Making back way to Raven Grove and back to meet up with the Doc and Talos.
Okay. You know that they were on their way back to the jail. As you start heading up the steps of the jail, you hear this this screech come from within.
Followed by a roar.
And it smells
celebration.
like pork.
It smells like pork.
Hearing the scream, rush into the jail.
Down, fall behind.
You see one of the deputies asleep behind the desk. You see the door that leads into the back jail area, which you remember was where you found Gibbs's corpse, open. And you see the furthest cell in the north open. And as you come closer down, you see the Doc and Talos just wrenching on this assassin. You see this sword being pulled out. You see this poker being plunged down, and he's on his back, chained to the cot.
There's a pentagram on the wall.
I'm like doing as soon as it's over, I'm doing like the sand person thing.
So, Doc, how'd the assassin doing?
Well, he appears to be stable. He's out cold, but
Holy
He is
shit, is
stable.
that a hot poker on the floor?
yes. It was hotter before. Now it's lukewarm.
Yeah.
It's not so much orange tint to it.
Yeah, it should be a little
It's
bit
not
safe
white
now.
hot anymore, at least.
So there's no doubt this guy's passed out from the pain at this point. Probably won't wake up for a couple of hours. What do you guys want to do?
I still have the key to that particular cell, so I'm going to lock it.
Okay.
Wait, before you lock it, have we checked him? Remember what happened last time we locked someone in there without checking them?
Oh, that's true. Yes, loot.
Yeah.
Loot.
I assume he's got nothing, but
Well, yeah,
Let's
he had
double
a
check.
sword on him, but
He
actually
did.
in him.
I looted that.
So, as you look through his pouches or pockets or whatever through his tunic, you don't find anything of value.
Is there, even if we like pull some of the clothing off, any tattoos, no markings?
You just see some kind of a weird bird tattoo on his back. Looks like a hawk. It's funny because I was actually going to say that too. That's actually really good.
The balloon?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Well,
Woo!
he's got a new
He
marking
does
on
have
his
a
body.
he does have a tattoo on his back. It looks like a giant hawk or some kind of a bird of prey. But he is devoid of any body hair. Also,
That's my next question.
Quick, let's compare this to one of Irwin's medallions.
So I know you said they're devoid of body hair. Are they eunuchs or do they have all their gear?
they've got all their gear.
Okay.
They're just well shaved.
Yeah.
Makes them look huge.
Okay. So there's a bird of prey tattoo, I guess. So I will turn to Irwin and Oust. When you guys left, who was in charge of cleanup of the site?
Sheriff Kaler.
We'll have to ask if anyone else saw this tattoo on any of the other dead assassins.
We saw that they were also hairless, but we didn't. There was no mention, nor did we see any markings or tattoos on them. Also, none of them had anything on them. No parchment, no coin, other than the weapons that they brought to fight.
Kind of almost seems like they were prepared to die. And if they were to die, to leave no identification.
Yes. A righteous jihad, yes.
We're gonna beep that out. That's totally gonna have to get beeped.
It's a religious term. Don't blame me for making ISIS making it look bad.
They gave themselves
Yeah,
a bad
ISIS really
name.
screwed that term over.
But Alendru was kind of very keen about these assassins.
But they didn't have anything on them. Was there... Where was Murder's place?
Down M1.
M2? M1, whatever.
M2.
M2. Oh, is it 2?
2.
Well, perhaps if they came with nothing ready to die, they had to... They didn't just travel here. They had to shack up somewhere, have a campsite. Perhaps we can let the sheriff know about our thoughts about that.
Yeah, we can do that when he gets back.
I agree. What was his name again?
Which
The guy
one?
the guy we escort.
Alundru?
Alendru. I don't know why his name doesn't stick to my head.
Just call him Joe Minda. You've been calling everybody else fucking Joe Minda the whole time.
Murta seems very hostile.
Now he knows her fucking name. Now she's toast.
But anyway, I think it's best for us to call it a night. Finally.
Agreed.
Yeah, let's get some rest, guys.
So you guys lock up the jail. Lock up the cell, I'm imagining, right? Head back to...
Tell Leo to keep an eye on him.
Well, I keep the key as well.
You can keep the key. That's
Yeah.
fine. You know, when Kayla comes back, I'm going to have to tell him you guys got the key. So keep it safe. Keep it secret. Don't be telling anybody about it. And he'll get it from you later on.
Keep it in the old prison wallet.
That's not necessary, but okay. So you guys make it back to the Outward Inn. Sariana's already there, and she has keys for each of you. I've been authorized by Vashian to give each of you a suite on his coin, and she hands each of you a key.
Thank you.
Yeah. So someone moving my stuff into the suite or...
It's still in your room. We don't have a key to your room, Doctor. You have both of the keys now.
That's right.
And we wouldn't take the liberty of touching your articles again.
Well, I'm just... Is there a bellhop around? I'll open up the door. I ain't
No,
carrying
I
my own
fired
shit.
him.
Oh, he was the one.
Well, he was the help. There is no bellhop. We're a simple type of an inn.
It's more like a bed and
One
breakfast.
star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the town of Ravengrove, Doctor.
We all want to sleep in our own suites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go unlock my old room and start carrying the stuff over.
How much shit do you have?
Well, not much. Most of it was looted, but there's enough in there.
Okay. So you guys actually make your way up to the next floor, which are all the suites. You guys all have adjoining suites.
Oh, with doors in between?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say
That's
fuck,
awesome.
block party.
Yeah.
No. This isn't the Vegas deal. This is all the suites are next door to each other.
Okay.
So from left to right, 301, 302, 303, 304.
Oh, I wanted a corner suite.
How many suites
Too
does this place
bad.
have?
There's only like 8 upstairs.
I see.
So we got one of the wings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got one of the 2 wings.
So describe your evening as you crash down. What do? You guys don't, elves don't
Yeah.
need to crash down. What do you just rage all night, or what do you want to do?
Trancing in the nude.
Well, you can do that now. No one's there to stop you. I would spend the first half trancing, and then after that, finishing up the study I was doing on the spell. Sorry, I'm blanking on the name of it. Levitate.
Okay.
So that has now cost me 200 gold in materials.
So do you have it now?
Yep.
Okay. Doc, what are you doing tonight?
Just ordering some food from downstairs, taking it up, holing up, passing out, eating, passing out.
Okay.
I'm just gonna lay in the bed and just knock right out. I'm practically dead.
Okay. The evening goes unmolested. You wake up the next morning, feel more refreshed, feel energized, go downstairs, eat your pastry, drink your coffee, eat your continental breakfast, and the new day has begun. Thank you for joining us once again on Roll the Hard 20 podcast. Remember, you can find us and subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And if you like what you're hearing, please leave us that 5-star review. You could also contact the show directly at rollthehard20podcast@gmail.com or head on over to the website at rollthehard20podcast.com. And be sure to check out the galleries. We got a lot of really interesting stuff posted there. And finally, join us on our Patreon page at patreon.com/rollthehard20podcast. There are ways for you to help out the show and pick up swag. So until next session, keep your dice warm and your glass full as you roll those hard 20s.
Good old Youngstown, Ohio. Only thing they're known for is bombings.
And shootings.
And shootings.
Yep. Old mob town.
Ohio was a mob town?
Youngstown was because it was between Chicago and Pittsburgh.
Hey, man,
Speak
you're my...
right into that bellhead.
Well, I was...
I'm going to take this jacket off.
So it's kind of
jack
like
it off.
Dude, it makes a lot of noise.
it's kind of like Orange County, where all like the big cartel guys live, where they can have a normal life.
Yeah.
That's what Youngstown
Blend in.
was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because on one side it was all the Italians, and the other side it was all the Eastern Europeans. And God forbid you cross the line. And
Wow.
everyone went to Catholic school.
Well, as an American, I've seen enough Guidos for a little while. Haven't just got back from Rome. Ready?
Don't malign the Italian people with Guidos. That's
I
strictly Jersey.
am Italian.
Jersey, ain't it?
What?
It's all Puerto Ricans pretending
I
to
thought
be
Jersey had a lot of
Italians.
Italians in it.
Got it.